The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised. Caution. You are now entering the all-consuming realm of Shay's Paranormal Chat, where the things that are better left unsaid are actually said.
Shut up and sit down.
You're listening to Shay's Paranormal Chat. Paranormal podcasting done Shay's way. Tons of fun.
Dude, seriously?
A bit sarcastic.
Hashtag investigator, not hunter.
But always real.
Hashtag data, not evidence.
Don't get your panties in a twist.
Oh my god, really?
This is real, raw conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. TGIF, as always. Thank you for listening. Yes, Darren, it is Shay. That's why it's called Shay's Paranormal Chat. But thank you for noticing me. Sorry, I have to give him a hard time, you know. I'm very excited about tonight. Very excited. This is a topic I've wanted to cover for a while. It's one of two subjects that I really, really, really want to get into. Of course, we have back our infamous Kelly McCarville, the co-host of the show. She is here in the house.
Only infamous because I MIA most of the time, so,
but
you
with
know.
Good reason. You know?
I try.
Yeah.
I do what I can.
You know. And, of course, we have Rebecca Williamson, the owner of the Cambry House and Farm. If you look it up on Facebook, it's Cambry House and Farm. So, that much I do know. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I am peachy, as always. So, I'm still sharing, so I'm stalling.
I know, so am I. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
We should put a disclaimer on every show that, like, the first 5 minutes is going to be awkward because we're sharing stuff still. So,
you know.
Speaking of
I'll share it.
Yeah. Speaking of disclaimers, I have to tell you guys, after, I think this is my 52nd, 53rd show on this network, and I had the same stuff before on the other network, I still get a chuckle out of my disclaimer and my intro. Every time you can see me chuckling. I'm just like, so. All right. Rebecca, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, pretend nobody knows who you are, even though everybody does know who you are, but let's pretend.
Okay, sure. So I am Rebecca Williamson. I am the owner of Cambry House and Farm. The Cambry House has been in my family basically my entire life. It was owned by my grandparents. And then after they passed away, I bought it from their estate. And I opened it up as a wedding venue. And then realized it was haunted. So we've been doing ghost tours. I've done ghost tours out at the farm for the last 3 years. So, and then in my, the real job that pays bills, I'm a mail carrier. So that's pretty much it. I have kids. I have 4 kids. Let's see. They are 23, 21, 19, and 11.
Oh, wow. How old are yours, Kelly?
22, 19, 16, and 14.
No, see, my oldest is 25. Joshua would have been 24 in February. And then the twins are 19, and Kate is 18 and a half. So we're all
like in there. Huh,
yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Busy mamas.
Oh
yeah, it's what we do.
Yeah,
it's cold in the winter.
Yeah,
I can't even. Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
Huh?
Nothing.
What was that?
Nothing.
You want to go on? No. All right. So should we get to the subject? Kelly's blushing.
The subject. Never. I never.
Oh, that's
okay.
so funny. So, as I said in the beginning, this is a subject I've wanted to do for a while. The other part is paramorals, as I call it, which we probably won't have time to get into tonight. So maybe there'll be a part 2 sometime down the road. But
we could have Mama Pat on for that one because she would love to do a show about paramorals.
Oh, we should. I'm telling you.
I know. We keep trying to get her on here.
She won't. She likes to talk the talk, but doesn't like to talk on the shows.
Nah, she'll do it eventually. We just got to keep smooth talking her.
Yeah. Hi, Mom. I didn't even... Let me do my shout-outs. Sorry. The first people in chat should have gotten shout-outs by now. Of course, we have Darren. My mother's in the chat. Mama Deb.
Hi, Mom.
We have Kelly. We have Kim. I saw her in there somewhere. We have Mama Pat. We have Maddie.
Hi, Mom.
Maddie as in Matt. Don't call him Maddie. I don't know why that started in the past 2 weeks, but all of a sudden they started calling him that. And those are the first people in chat, so they get the first shout-outs.
Awesome. Hi, Betty.
So, happy birthday to Kim's fur baby. He's a year old. I don't know if she means today or just in general, but it's close. Very close.
Aww.
Yeah. Oh my God, I had so much fun on their show last night, guys. It was so relaxing just to go on and talk crap, and apologize for calling them assholes the week before live on air. You know, if I make fun of you on air, that means I really...
I was going to say...
I really
it's a sign
love
of
you.
love.
It is.
It's a sign of love.
So,
Awesome.
So, Rebecca, how did you come up with the subject? We were just talking one day, and you just like if you ever want to do a show on this, what made you think of it? I'm going to be very careful on how I approach this because.
So, Ghost Hunting 101. When I teach, I teach it basically. When we do a ghost tours at the farm, I do a little bit of a Ghost Hunting 101 as an introduction to everybody who comes to take the tour. Because number one, I want them to understand the style of investigation we're doing. I get all kinds of people who are brand new. They've never done an investigation. They've watched it on TV, maybe. They might have watched it on TV.
Well, then they know how to do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right, sometimes, but they've never actually done it like really live in person.
Wait, why is this microwave setting off the K2? It must be possessed.
It must be. There's a demon in the microwave.
That's exactly what made me message Shay, because I had a group that was a bunch. They had been to all kinds of paranormal locations. These people had been to the Crescent Hotel. They'd been every spot. They've been to Villisca. They've been all over the place. And they did not realize that your cell phone could set off the K2. I was the first person that had shown them your cell phone could set off the K2. And I'm just like, seriously?
Okay, then.
This is the first time you've heard this? I mean, these are people who are planning vacations around their ghost hunting, and they don't realize, what makes the K2 go off besides ghosts. And it's like, seriously? Are you real people?
It's a little scary.
It is scary, but it's sad. That just shows what people are putting out there, that we, including me, as a host, as an investigator, as all these things, we're not telling how to do it enough.
Well, and I think a lot of times we assume that they've watched these shows and they know what they know. You know, you watch the show, you know how a K2 works. Well, do you really know how a K2 works? Do you know,
they know if it blinks, there's a ghost there. That's what they know.
Right. Exactly. Do you know that if you set it down on the table beside the refrigerator and the refrigerator kicks on, that your K2 will go up?
Well, and it depends on the K2 itself, too. Sometimes maybe this didn't set it off before, but this K2, it is going to set it off. So you have to, every time you go in and have a piece of equipment, you have to get that baseline. You have to figure it out.
Amen. Yep.
Right. And you have to know that
since this is Ghost Hunting 101, before we go on, you want to explain what a baseline is?
Sure. So the baseline is when you do an initial walkthrough with your equipment and you establish, what is going to set off your equipment. So you're going to walk through with your K2 and you're going to see, okay, what is going to set it off? You're going to put it by, check all your outlets. Check all the outlets in the house. Check all the appliances, lamps, anything with electricity. Your K2 is going to detect electricity. So, and do that with all your equipment. I mean, know what your equipment is looking for, like a K2, EMF. There's a lot of equipment that detects electricity. So know where your electrical stuff is at. So when you do that baseline walkthrough, we went into one place where the whole kitchen was set at like, the EMF was like a 3 on the K2 for the entire kitchen.
Yeah.
No wonder people were seeing stuff there.
Yeah. Lordy.
We recently went to a place that had a lot of claims of outdoor activity and stuff, and the electrical work on the outside, the boxes were so old, and that no matter where you went, we used 4 or 5 different type of. I see. This is why I don't do these shows that much when it comes to tech stuff. K2, millimeter, and then they had the dual something that would tell if it was electricity. It was like we used 5 different ones, and they were off the charts. But people don't think to do that. But if it's all around the building, if you go in the building, you walk in and it's a that carnival effect, that funhouse effect. Anyways, you add all that EMF, and boom.
Oh yeah, that's like that would be a Faraday cage right there.
Thank you. That's what I called it on the video too. That I can't release because I said some mean stuff.
When you got electricity all around you, it creates a heightened electrical field, and people don't understand that those high levels of EMF will cause you to hallucinate.
Headaches. It can be skin rashes, paranoia, on and on. Like, which you think you're haunted when you have all this stuff going on.
Right. It can cause hallucinations. So, if you've got a high EMF, if you come into an investigation and you're doing that baseline sweep, and like I said, that kitchen had the whole kitchen was a 3. It's like, and then we determined that it was the stove. They had an older stove, electric stove, that made the K2 go through the roof. It was like,
wow,
might want that. And then the stories that they were telling us is like they were standing at the kitchen stove cooking, and they were seeing things. It's like, yeah, I bet you were. I bet you were seeing something.
I wonder why.
Right.
Yeah. You might want to replace your kitchen stove.
Yep. Is that your notifications going off, Rebecca?
Yes. Hold on. Let me put it on.
No, I was like looking around like, what is that?
What am I doing?
The first, if you get a K2 meter, the first thing you should do is go to electrical sockets. Not even at a haunted place, just anywhere. And alarm clocks, actual real alarm clocks, not cell phones, because cell phones do it too. But alarm clocks, the old style radio alarm clocks, you know what I'm talking about? Younger generations won't. So, but the actual alarm clocks.
Yeah.
Remember the ones that had the little the little number thing that would fall down and they'd click?
Oh, I do. My grandfather had. I can only imagine what that would. But regular ones go. The highest EMF I ever saw is off of those. And it's non-paranormal.
Yeah. Right. Electrical cords. Like I said, that old stove that one time, that one was like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just anything electrical. If it's got electricity to it. And then on the opposite side of that, if you're in a location that doesn't have electricity and your K2 is going off, well, then that shows you that that's more likely to be paranormal activity because there is no electricity. Your K2 should not be going off.
Exactly.
But then check and see I always tell people when you're using your K2 and it's going off, look to see what's near it. Is your cell phone near it? Is your friend's cell phone near it? Is it next to an electrical outlet? Are you waving it through the air?
Can you make it happen routinely? If you walk by a certain place and it goes off all the time, whether you can figure it out or not, there's something setting it off if it consistently goes off every time.
Right. And static electricity can set off a K2 as well. So if you've got like a staticky sweater on and you're moving that K2 around, that'll make it go off every time. So if you're moving the K2 around a lot,
especially the type of the K2, because there's those little clear ones that have got the orange on top that if you shake them, they'll go off.
Any of them do. That's You're talking about the ghost meter. Kelly is the orange.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've used one for 5 years, and it's gone off 3 times. But any of them, a regular K2 that you see on Ghost Hunters, they use a penny in them. If you move them too quick, they're going to go off. You have to get results over and over again, and you have to have it backed up by some other equipment before you can say, my K2's going off. This place is haunted. You got to have checks and balances. You really do.
Well, one of the investigations we did recently, this group had an Ovulus in the K2, and they had the Ovulus set next to the K2.
We always check that too, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Ovulus was setting off the K2. So they were getting, the Ovulus was making noise, and it was setting, the K2 was going off at the same time, but it was because they were set right next to each other, and the one was setting off the other. Yeah. So, yeah. It's just...
Yeah, go figure.
It's knowing the equipment, knowing what that equipment detects, I mean, so many of them detect the electrical stuff that it's really important to know the electrical. I mean, spirits are energy, and this is another thing I talk about during my Ghost Hunting 101. Spirits are energy, and so most of the equipment we have is trying to detect the energy that they have.
Right.
Yeah. I think...
Yeah, Mama Pat was saying that we were in a building that hadn't had electricity for 60 years, and we were getting EMF hits. So that's the type of location that there's like, if you don't have your cell phones around and there is no electricity, and trust me, we were in the middle of the country, there's nothing that was going to be setting that off, and we were getting consistent, responsive EMF hits. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's the exciting part is, like when you know for sure that the only thing that's setting off that K2 or the EMF is actual paranormal activity. And that's why I want people who take my tours, especially, to know I'm not making this stuff up. I want you to know this equipment works. So when you get paranormal activity, you really know it's paranormal and not something I'm doing to try and make you think it is.
But even if you're getting...
Go ahead, Kel. You go first.
I was going to say, even if you're getting hits on the K2, try to back it up with something else too, because I guess my thoughts on the K2, and Mama Pat says this all the time too, is we believe that a hit on the K2 without an explanation is a spirit talking to us. But how do we know for sure?
That's what I was going to say. I like to have at least three different forms of something. Whether it's a personal feeling, like a strong one, not just, ooh, I'm speaking, whether K2, any form of EMF, Ovulus, any of those, SLS, EVP.
Right.
3 or more, then I'm like, okay. You know? But in the moment, you guys, in the moment when you're ghost hunting, they can't see my air quotes, but I did use air quotes. In the moment, even if I don't know if it's real or not, I go with it, just in case there's one chance, and I'll keep, you know.
Oh, well, it's really exciting when that K2 goes off. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, it's really, really exciting. And then you're like, okay, I want to know for sure if that's what it is.
But sometimes the equipment that you're running, you may not get those instant responses. So you do keep going just in case, because like we almost always have a digital recorder going. Well, we don't know if we're picking up an EVP or not. So you keep going with it just in case. Yeah, absolutely.
Here's something that I want to get across. This is why people don't like me, by the way. All right, guys. Here is the truth. An EVP. All right. One of you guys answer. What is an EVP?
Electronic voice phenomena.
All right. So I hate to tell you guys, but that is totally different than a disembodied voice, and that is totally different than ITC stuff. An EVP is something you don't hear with your ears that you can later hear. I see people using Spirit is saying, check out this EVP I got. Sorry, that's not an EVP. Like, nope. It's not. It's still cool, but it's not EVP. Right? Or no?
Right. And then the EVPs, I'm never really wild about EVPs because so many of them that people play are so hard to hear and understand. And they're playing you this staticky gobbledygook and they're all excited. And I'm just like, really? Yeah. but then you get the one that's super, super clear, you know,
so clear.
And it's like, yes, okay, play me the really good ones. I want to hear the good ones. I don't want to hear your static.
The ones where they play them and you're just convinced there had to have been a real person there because it's so clear.
Those when those happen, that is like blows you away. Those are amazing. That's why we the recorder.
I just think that sometimes people get so wrapped up in the hype of I'm trying to choose my words so oops, I hit my mic, sorry. I'm trying to choose my words so carefully here. Sometimes I'll say it, me too. You get so wrapped up in the hype of the moment or hype of putting stuff out there that sometimes people forget that it's not quantity that you want to get out. It's quality. Because it does nothing to further this field to put out like a stomach growling saying, Zach, I'm a demon, I'm coming to get you. You know?
Actually, it does do something to the field. It absolutely does something to the field. It discredits all of us.
Yes.
You know, and the problem is it makes it so if you put out something that's questionable, you're going to lose your respect, the integrity that you've built. So if you're putting out every little growl and nobody can hear it but you, people are going to stop trusting the things you get even when you get something good. You know, and that's hard because there's a lot of things when you're listening back that you're like, oh, I think that might have been something, but
when
you know, if in doubt,
if in doubt, throw it out. That's my whole thing.
Throw it out.
But then sometimes I put up stuff and I'm like, what do you guys think of this? I'm not sure what I think of this. Or, like, I never say, everybody knows. Hashtag data, not evidence. I always question my own stuff just as much. Actually,
and I don't think there's anything wrong with putting it out there and saying, hey, can you hear this? I'm trying to decide. It's when you put out the static and say, oh, it says this and I'm so excited and this is amazing. And it's just static, you know, that's,
or somebody asks for your opinion and you give it and then they get mad because it's not what they wanted to hear.
That's why I don't give my fucking opinion anymore. They send me pictures of dust and I say, Well, I'm sorry, but that video is full of a dusty room, but that's my great grandmother. Well, then don't send it to me if you're so sure, because.
Yeah. Well, and we do that all the time at the expo because people will bring stuff up and say, hey, will you take a look at this? And I'm like, sure, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Are you prepared for that?
Yeah. I actually go as far to ask people, don't send me your pictures. Don't send me your videos. EVPs, that type of stuff, great. But pictures, no. But I'm not there. I don't know how the room's set up. I don't know who's in the room. I don't know what's moving.
I always explain, on my tours, I always say, take all the pictures you want. But pictures are controversial because so many people have orb pictures that they think are orbs and they're actually dust. And, I sit there and I'll try and explain to them what a true orb is and what it looks like and all that stuff and the difference between that and dust. And then they'll send me a lens flare and...
Yeah.
Hi.
I just... And even if it is a real orb, I'm not fucking qualified to tell you it's a real orb, people.
Well, and so, you can get a lens flare from something you don't even see. That's not even in the picture.
Right. Yeah.
So, take pictures. Yeah. But, send me the good ones. That's what I always tell them. Send me the good ones from your tour. I want to see your good ones. And then...
but see, you know the location.
Well, yes, exactly. I know where all the lights are in my location, so I can tell. I have a better idea of what they're doing and what they're not. And when I try to explain dust, I'm like, okay, so if I tell you to go down in the basement and you walk back and forth across the floor about 10 times, and then you snap a picture, and there's 100 orbs in the picture, that's dust. Yeah. Don't think that's a ghost. That's going to be dust.
And let me tell you, I was there years ago. I've done it, but I admit it now. All right, I made a mistake.
The sad part about that story, Shay, I had been on an actual ghost tour where they did that. They took us to an abandoned building and had the entire tour group walk back and forth across the basement and then had everybody snap photos. And then they're like, oh my gosh, look at all the orbs in your picture. And I'm just sitting there going, I paid money.
That was a huge eye roll for me, if you're wondering what that sound was. No, I just, we've all been there, but my problem is the people that can't learn or don't want to learn, and they keep putting the same stuff out,
Right, and that tour, he did that on purpose so that they thought they were getting activity when it was dust. Yeah. And that to me I find frustrating, and because.
Yep.
Then when they go to show their pictures, the people are going to go, that's dust. And they're like, and
people need to understand that there is dust everywhere. It's not just the basements that haven't been cleaned. You can go into a home that somebody lives in routinely and cleans routinely, and it looks clean. But there's dust, guys. There just is. So
my house. That you just, with the cat and the dog.
Mine's dusty, that's for sure.
Yeah. Darren, we'll get to that question in 1 second. I do see it. I just happened to look down. Don't let me forget.
Darren has a question? What?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're all on the same page. Well, I think Kelly's on the same page now. I'm not sure. All right, let's just ask his question. I get scared to ask this question because I get very passionate about this. Darren wants to know, Rebecca, how do you feel about the flashlight technique? And I want to know Kelly's too after.
I'm assuming that's like on Ghost Hunters. They use that one a lot. The old one where they kind of
that even Grant Wilson said was bullshit. Since then, yes. Sorry.
I personally have never used that technique in an investigation. It looks very impressive on tape. When you watch those old Ghost Hunter episodes, it looks impressive. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I'm unsure. I would say, I don't know that I've actually seen it work. Let's put it that way.
Right, that's it, Miss Kelly? I can't remember if this is one of the things we agree on or disagree on.
I'm on the fence because the logical science side of my brain says it makes sense how they say that it works. That basically you've disconnected the flashlight head from the battery just enough that it's not quite making that connection. But over time, the charge is going to build up, and it's going to turn that flashlight on and off. That's the debunker side of why those don't work. And I get that theory of it, but that doesn't discount the times that I've seen it respond consistently.
Yeah, if you
and logically,
if you can prove scientifically of why this can happen on its own, then how can you credit it for anything?
But how can you discredit it when you say blink quickly 3 times and it goes blink, 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 and you say don't blink for an entire minute and it goes an entire minute without blinking, and then you say, okay, that was great, now blink twice, blink, blink, and then this is where I kind of go back and forth. We were having down at the Mason house, we were doing the flashlights, and we were getting ridiculously consistent responses to the questions that we were asking. And we were asking the questions to try to make sure that it was responding, like we were really getting responses. And so me being kind of the smart ass that I am, said, you've been turning those on and off all night. Can you move them? And we'd see the flashlight roll a little bit, and then it'd go right back to answering us. And I got brave and I said, okay, we've seen you roll the flashlight a little bit. How about you roll it off the table? 2 out of the 3 flashlights that were on the table flew off that table and landed about 10 feet away. The third one didn't move at all. So we picked them all up, put them all back on the table, tried everything we could to get them to roll off that table, tried to debunk how they came off that table, let alone went that far across the room. Set them back up, and it went right back to answering the questions again. Mama Pat had missed it the first time the flashlights went off the table. She was unamused. So she came back into the room, and we had gone back to asking questions. It had gone back to consistently answering. And she said, hey, you threw them off the table again. Can you? And she was going to say, make it do it again. And the same 2 flashlights go flying off the table.
Right, see,
third one stayed put.
Different.
Remember where we said don't go with just one piece of evidence, have it backed up by multiple things?
Yeah, but
exactly.
If there's a scientific reason, I can't mention the other person's name. Well, I could, but I don't want to because he doesn't deserve credit. We recorded the flashlight like that for over 24 hours, and it does stuff like that because
How is it not consistent? That's where my logical brain goes, because I get the building up the charge, but if that's the case, it should fairly steadily build up the charge and light up at the same time.
Throw it out. When in doubt, throw it out. If there's a
which is why most of the time it's thrown out.
Yeah, when there's a scientific reason that it could be something else, then I just.
Okay, but we know. Okay, but let's go with that. We scientifically know that an electronic thing can set off a K2. Therefore, if a K2 goes off, it's being set off by an electronic.
I missed that. Say that again. I was making fun of Kelly with hand gestures. Sorry. Yeah.
We know that electronics will set off a K2 meter, that a K2 meter will light up and make noise if it's by an electronic. Scientific explanation. Yeah. Therefore, you have to throw out any time a K2 meter lights up and goes off. Because there's a scientific reason it can happen.
If there's nothing around
no.
Yeah.
You can't play that game because you can't visibly see that electricity is building up in that flashlight at that particular time any more than you can prove to me with it beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is not something causing that K2 meter to go off. It's the consistency of it. It's the two too responsive and too accurate to be coincidental.
Right. If it was going off like every minute, you know, I would say, okay.
Consistently every minute, absolutely. Then that's the electrical charge building up.
So like what Kelly's talking about, where it's blinking on response, you know, and you're not just asking a question every minute.
That could be anything, but overall.
And we would do it. So they were 3 different colored flashlights, and we'd say, light the blue one, and the blue one would come on. And we'd say, okay, turn off the blue one and turn on the red one. Blue went off, red came on. And we're like, okay, turn off the red one, it'd go off. Light the red and the blue. They both come on. We'd just say, okay, turn those off, and they'd go off. And I mean, it was responding this quick. As quick as I'm telling you the questions, it was responding. And we're like, okay, you guys have played with the red and blue one all night. How about the black one? And the black one comes on.
Yeah.
That is too consistent. And the black one has stayed off all night long.
A broken clock is right twice a day. It doesn't mean you can go by that time all the time.
And that's what I'm saying, is you can't always say that it's something. You absolutely cannot always.
But I won't use it because of that reason. That's my whole thing.
And I think the questions, too, that you ask, if you're always asking a yes question and it's always giving you a yes response, I mean, how do you know for sure that is, you know, you need to try to get a no response in there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know? And that's what I'm saying is, so like we had that too at the Mason house again, where we were getting knocking on the wall. And again, even with that, guys, my brain goes to, there's a logical explanation. It could be pipes. It could be this. It could be that, you know, could be the house settling because it's almost 200-year-old building, you know. So it would knock, and, you know, and you'd hear, and then we're like, okay, we'll knock twice. We'll knock 3 times. Yeah. Well, can you knock 5? You know, and then we're like, okay, this has been too consistent. We want to go for an entire 60 seconds without a sound. And it was absolutely dead silent. So like, that was great. Are you still there? You know, it's like, it's too consistent to say there's not something to it.
And that's the part, you know, when you know for sure that it's paranormal activity, when you've debunked everything, you know, and you know for sure it's paranormal activity. That's what makes it so exciting to me, when you've debunked everything and you know for sure, you know, rather than not, you know, oh, well, what, maybe that is, you know, no, I want to know for sure. I want to know for sure that I am seeing paranormal activity, because that's my ticket.
Yeah.
if you are going to do something like the flashlights, you need to be ridiculously patient. And we're talking an hour or 2 session of consistent.
You should be that way with anything, honestly.
Well, yeah.
For sure.
I saw a question from Darren. It was quickly deleted. So.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Darren being naughty.
Yep. I'm sorry. Oh. I think that's Kelly, and I think that's Andrew. Is that you?
I think it is.
Chat?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, but I'm not sure. So let me know.
And Darren was asking about last weekend at Melbourne with the flashlight game.
Yeah, a couple people did. The chat's moving
there were.
quick.
Yep. Yeah. The other group that we were there with do the flashlight method, and they were upstairs in the attic doing that. The interesting part of that, again, though, for anybody who didn't watch the Facebook Live, is we basically had 3 sessions going all at the same time. So they were upstairs doing flashlights. There was another group in one of the rooms doing the Estes method. And I was in a third room then running the Spiritus. And then Chris Nielsen, a paramedic, was there with us, and he was kind of like the runner between all of us. So he would hear the question from upstairs, be answered through the Estes method in the next room. And the questions that they're asking are being answered through my Spiritus, and the questions I'm asking are being answered up in the attic.
Oh, that's cool.
It was crazy.
Yeah. That's cool. I'll have to go back and watch that one.
Yeah, I haven't.
It's hard to catch it all because you only got my side of it from the Facebook Live. But yeah, that's what they were saying, and Chris had the benefit of being able to see like all parts of it. So yeah.
And I think that part is where the evidence review comes in.
Yep, absolutely.
they go so
data
and all the shows, but that's so important because then you can putting together the pieces of the investigation to find out what you actually caught. Because like the knocking, you doing the investigation, you'll hear something, but on evidence review, you'll find out that somebody else was in the other room or somebody was downstairs. And how many times has that happened?
And we even did that. So when we had started this, it was on one of my retreats. And so there was just one group of us in the room and there were two other groups, other places. Well, eventually one of the groups came with us because we'd been in the room so long. And it kept going. And finally I said, go get the third group so we can make sure that absolutely everybody is in this room. And so the third group came in, and that's the other part of this is, this went on for hour and a half that we got responses like that. It was the best thing ever. I should try to find the recording of it. It was good.
But, evidence review is so important to know.
We're killing Shay, by the way, continuing to say evidence.
Oh, sorry. What term would you prefer?
Sorry, what?
What term would Shay prefer instead of evidence review?
No. You use it's an ongoing joke, but you use whatever you want.
I just give her a hard time because it's so much fun.
Well, evidence, it has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt that it's actually real, and data is what you collect to prove that it's evidence. So, but I don't care. I just it's an ongoing joke. Huh?
Data review would be better than evidence review, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but
and it does make sense, but it kind of goes back to that whole what are people used to saying? It's ghost hunting. But I'm really not hunting a ghost.
Yeah, now it's a joke. But in the beginning, 5 years ago, I was very like insulted by words like evidence, ghost hunting, and now I just know. All right, these are just the hip words or the words they're used to or the trendy words.
It's the slang.
But now, it's more of a joke, but...
I just like to watch her eyes twitch when people say it,
Well, but, she does have a point. Are you reviewing it to look for evidence? Or are you, with evidence in mind? Or are you just looking through the data trying to see what's there?
Yeah.
You're gathering the statistics to put it all together to hopefully one day be able to say, now it's evidence.
Yes.
But who knows if we will ever get there.
Yeah. I think it's important. Ghost hunting 101 is important to prove to people who are on the fence or who don't think that it's real. Just this. That's why I wanted to do this with Shay, because I'm like, and I'm writing a book about this because I think it's important for the field to know that that this stuff is real and what we're doing is important. I don't know. I get all worked up sometimes.
I do too. That's I come on here and I make light of it and I act funny but that's what this show is supposed to be. Sometimes it's serious, like tonight it's a little bit more serious, but I go back and forth and...
Well, we're having fun with it, though.
Yeah, that's,
But, so many people don't think it's real, and they've seen, some of these things that are fake, and they're like, yeah, I know that's dust. All those pictures are dust. And well, not all of them are dust.
No, not all, but that's the problem. You have all this stuff out there on the interwebs, as some people call them. I almost died. I heard it again today. And I'm like, interwebs, oh my God. Anyways, sorry. But it takes away from, stuff that might be real. And it just...
Yeah.
It's not always their fault. They don't know. They just think anything that glows in infrared or on a cell phone is a ghost. And that's why shows, podcasts, Facebook, any paranormal team that's putting out stuff, that's why it's important that you state your opinion, you teach, you lead by example instead of you know, we've all, come on, all three of us have put something out there that later we're like, okay. You know, years later you're like, but we learn, and I have no problem saying, hey, yeah, okay, I didn't know what I was doing, or I screwed up, or, you know.
Well, and I think part of it is they want to put out something because they want to have this claim to fame that, well, I always get something everywhere I go. Well, then you're obviously not a real paranormal investigator, because that's not how this works.
No.
I think there's a lot of pressure because they see the show and they get something every episode. So,
well, that's because they don't air the episode if they didn't.
Well, and they also don't show that they went to that location 3 times before they got stuff. You know, they went there and they investigated 3 times, and they can condense that into an hour show. So yeah, you know, they don't show all, you know, okay, like Ghost Hunters, the old one back in the day, they would sometimes tell you if they were doing it for like 3 nights in a row, but I don't think they do that quite as much.
I won't mention the show. But the big one that I hate, not only are they there for multiple nights, but they send their crew there a week before them to start filming stuff. Like, that's, you know.
Right.
You know, most of the time, yeah, you think it's fun, but we sit in the dark and do nothing and get nothing a lot of the time.
And freeze our heinies off while we're doing it, or sweat to death, or,
Yep.
Sit there and stare at each other, you know, in a dark room for about 2 hours, and nothing happens.
Or
you know?
if you're my sister and mother, you have to watch me dance or sing, or, you know, just to kill time.
Everybody's got to be entertained, Shay. You're just doing your part.
That's, you know, that's what I try. I'm trying to catch up on chat here. I'm way behind, but if I missed any question, guys, put them back in. I think I did miss at least one, but I think this is a subject we need to cover more than just once, because we debate it, like even Kelly and I debated for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. That we didn't even cover anything.
Well, and too, I like when we're talking about the flashlights, some of that stuff, you know, Shay's not going to use the flashlights, obviously, but Kelly is. And
if they can push the button, I will. But I'm not going to do the loose grip thing, no. But push the button, I'm in.
But everybody has their favorite type of equipment that they like to use. They have their go-to equipment, and they have their backup equipment. And then you've got that funny new one that you saw somebody else use that you really want to try out. So you brought that one along too, you know. And then, but what Shay uses is going to be different than what Kelly uses. And I think that's why it's fun to go on investigations with other people to see what they're using.
And I think different things work better for different people. You know, I think that's a big part of it, is because one person may have really, really good luck with a K2 meter, and other person has maybe really good luck with the flashlight. Yep. But some people have, you know, like Chris, when we go out, Chris and I do the Estes method a lot. We have really good luck with that. I mean, the responses that we were getting.
We do too.
What's that?
We do too. Really good. We call them blind spirit box, blind whatever, but we've been doing it before I even knew what the Estes was. I didn't even know how to say that till like 7 months ago. Somebody finally said, "You do know you're saying it wrong, right?"
One of my favorite things to use are the divining rods, especially when I'm giving tours. You know, and I've got skeptics in the group. I'll hand out the divining rods, and when those things work, that makes the skeptic change into a believer like no time flat.
See, and the funny thing is, divining rods are something that I won't use because I can't trust myself enough that I'm not moving them. So, I mean, I will because they entertain me, but I don't know that I would ever say, here's some data that I feel is truly something, because, and it's not because I don't think they don't work and that I haven't seen them work for other people. It's just for myself, between the fact that I know I move and I know that I can move them if I want to.
I've never even seen any in person, so I have no idea.
You can buy them on Amazon. I got some off of Amazon with these handles that that take away the movement aspect of it. It's like a a handle, so you're holding on to a barrel, and then the divining rods swing.
Right. Yeah, and that's how most of the ones that I've seen are, which definitely helps, because if I got to hold them in my hand, then yeah, no. But even then, I worry that I'm tipping. The Granger house, yes. We actually had
Cambry or the Granger house. I knew it was one of you guys. I couldn't remember which one, but
yeah, Cambry house or no Granger house. Sorry. When I was doing a ghost hunt, I think there, I don't remember what it was, but we'd been out the carriage house, and we had three people had different sets of dowsing rods, and they weren't just swaying a little bit. I mean, they were like helicopter spinning, all of them. Yeah. And we gave them to one of the gals she's kind of a skeptic, and she didn't believe in any of it. She was drug along with somebody, and you could watch her and see she was holding so stupid still, and those things are just helicopter spinning for her. She looked terrified. It was the best thing ever.
Yes, and I think that's what's cool about the divining rods. If you give those to the person in the group who doesn't think anything's going to happen, thinks they just came along for the ride, and this is right. You hand those divining rods to that person and they work, then that's where you get people who are like, oh wow.
Yeah.
And then I've got people who've been on tours all over the place and have never seen the divining rods at all.
Well, and that was like, so REM Pods. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about REM Pods. I get that they work, that how they're supposed to work, but right. I've been on a million investigations with a REM pod, and I've never seen one go off. Or if it did, it didn't consistently go off where it was like answering questions until.
Never once seen them go off. People bring them and never seen them work.
I can't say that I never have now. We were at the Lookout House just outside of Gettysburg, and I was there with the River to River gals, and they had a REM pod set up in one of the bedrooms, and it was consistently answering the questions. And it was funny because somebody had gone over and said, well, this is how you make it work. And they touched it to make it go off. And as she's walking away, it goes off again. And we're all looking at each other like, did we just do that? Is that because we just touched it? And we're like, if that was you guys, then do it again. And it's like, oh my God. And so then we started asking questions. And yeah, it was the only time I've ever seen one work. And it was fascinating. That is also on a Facebook Live.
And that part, I think, is what makes doing paranormal investigations so cool. When you've had a piece of equipment that's never worked, that finally works, and it's amazing. Evidence just blows you away.
Right?
That's why we do it, isn't it?
And I was so stupid giddy because, like I said, I've never seen one really actually work, and it was responding appropriately. And I'm just like, oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the ones that we live for, you know. So that's why you do the investigation.
Like a kid in a candy store again. Yeah. Oh, excellent. So, what else do you tell them? I know we have gone so far off course. So, what other type of things do you share with them when you do your 101 for your ghost tours?
Three different types of paranormal activity. First one is residual. A residual haunting is energy that's left behind. It's the door that opens at the same time every day. It's an imprint that's left behind by activity in a house. I mean, if you've got a house that's been there for over 100 years, the doors have opened and closed. You know, the guy came home from work every day at 2:00 in the afternoon. Now that door opens every day at 2:00 in the afternoon. That's residual energy. And, you know, I think honestly, when most people tell you their house is haunted, what they're experiencing is residual energy.
Right.
Residual, that's the first one. The second one is an intelligent haunting. And that's the one where we are getting a response. You know, it's what everybody thinks about when they think about a ghost. Intelligent haunting. It's interacting with you. You're asking questions. You're getting a response. Intelligent. So,
yep.
So that's two. The third one is demonic. I always mention demonic. Everybody always starts getting freaked out when you mention demonic. And I always like to tell them, that's not what I have at the Cambry house. And honestly,
that's not what most people have anywhere.
Exactly. And the whole group does a huge sigh of relief about that point because they've watched some of the other shows where they get possessed every episode.
Multiple times. Multiple times.
Oh, that famous show I was talking about.
Yes, exactly. They think they're going to come into a ghost thing and they're going to get possessed or they're going to find a demon, and it's like,
rip your shirt off, it attracts ghosts.
Is that how this works? I knew I was doing something wrong.
Kelly, I keep telling you, next time
we're not here with demons. I mean, but I like to put that out there because it is a thing. People are kind of familiar with it because they've watched like Poltergeist and The Exorcist and all that sort of stuff. But I also like to tell them that you're probably not going to experience that type of activity ever.
Yep.
It's
1 in a million.
Yeah, at best.
If
at best.
At all. Yeah.
And don't mess with it. Don't try and go out to find that type of activity. Just don't. I don't know. Yeah, I cover those 3 types. That's my 3, residual, intelligent, haunting, demonic.
Yeah, that's... before I forget, Darren was kind enough, like 10 minutes ago, to re-ask his question when I asked, and I never asked it. So I would like to ask it now. I'm trying to keep up with chat, but...
I can't see chat, so you just have to tell me.
Do you think I go when he asks this question every once in a while, and I take it a step further than he does. His question is, do you think ghosts and spirits ask us questions like we ask them? And my part is, do you think they see us like we see them, like they're trying to figure out if we're real?
So, question 1, Darren's question. I think they do. I think they are totally asking us questions, and I think that's why we have the equipment to try and communicate with them. I think it's silly to think that it's a one-way conversation, us asking questions and them answering. Why wouldn't they be asking us questions too?
I guarantee you it is not a one-way conversation.
Yeah, see? And sometimes, like when we're reviewing the data from a recorder, we're getting the EVP with a question, so yeah. And then the second part, can they see us? Like, I think they definitely can see us. Now, as to how real we are to them, I don't know. That's an interesting question.
I just always wonder that.
From what they've answered me, basically they say that we look a lot like, it depends, which is kind of how it is when you see a spirit. It depends, Sometimes we look real, flesh and blood, just like normal. But there's other times that we appear wispy to them too, or we look like we're glowing, or we look just like a dark shadow. So,
do you think they see our auras more than they see our flesh and blood?
I think they absolutely can see our auras. I don't know if it's more or less, but the reason that I think that they can see auras is because I've asked the question a lot, and people have asked the question a lot when we do like group investigations and stuff. Why are spirits drawn to me? Or why are they drawn to, they'll ask me, why are they drawn to you? And what the spirits have explained to us is that we look different to them. Each person looks different.
Your light is brighter.
Right. They tell us that I've heard the words, we sparkle, we glow, we shine, which I think is where, we do. It's like a moth to a flame. So they're more attracted to certain people, and it tends to be the people who can communicate with them easier. But if we look a certain way, that must mean everybody else looks different. So, and that's what I think when they're saying that we glow, that's what they're seeing is that aura.
Yeah,
that's my opinion. But to try to explain an aura to some of these older ghosts, that's just way beyond what I've tried to do. Let's sit down and have a conversation. No.
No, I've heard that a lot, though. But not just from people's theories on how ghosts see, but auras and even some psychic mediums, when they do MRIs, certain parts of their brains, or PET scans, I don't know what it is, whatever, the scans of the brains, certain parts of their brains light up. So why wouldn't their glow be more, like, you know?
Well, and our auras do change when we're doing this, and
yeah.
I mean, it was kind of weird how I got that I don't know, I guess we can call it evidence, but at one of the expos that we were doing a long time ago, towards the end of it, I thought, I'm going to go get my aura picture taken. Yeah. And so I was sitting there with my hand on the little reader device, waiting for it to, because the group that I was getting it from just kind of lets you sit there and let it balance out and register at first. And it had kind of evened itself out, and we were talking about the colors. But as I'm sitting there, a lady that I had given a reading to earlier had walked by, and she stopped and she says, I don't mean to bug you, but I want to ask you one more thing, a little clarifying on something you said. And so I said, sure. And she asked, and I tapped in like I do, and I got her the answer and went on my happy little way. And I turned back to the gals that were doing the aura and everybody that was standing there watching, and they're all staring at me with their mouths open like, you should see what your aura did as soon as you started reading for her, because it had changed. My colors all changed, and it was crazy different. So then we played with it, and thought, okay, if I do this, does it mean this? Can I manipulate it to be the way that I want it to? So anyway, that is
interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I want to try it again sometime, but we just haven't ever sat down and done it.
I'm catching up in chat. So
I did that horror photography at the last expo, and that was so cool.
Oh, yeah. I want to see these pictures, guys.
Okay, I'll send mine to you then, yes. Shay, when we get this, because it was really cool.
I'm guessing the group that you went to is the one who I was sitting with when that all happened. So yeah, because they were the only ones that were there, I think, for Aura last time.
I want to see them. I've never seen aura pictures. I've seen videos of people doing the aura pictures, but I've never actually seen an aura picture. So, let's see. Yeah, I would try it. My aura would be like all black, like people.
It would not.
Yeah,
it would not.
Darren, if you could phrase that question.
I was just going to say the same thing.
A question? I am shocked.
I'm confused on the question itself, so maybe he can.
I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, what you were asking either. So if you could just let us know, my dear.
Along the lines of what we're saying, but I'm not positive. So, and every time I assume, I make an ass out of me and the person asking the question. That old saying. So.
Poltergeist. People ask about poltergeists and where I would classify that. A lot of times, poltergeists aren't actually ghosts.
There's two different things.
Yeah.
There's a poltergeist and poltergeist activity. Two totally different things.
Yes, and I think that's a very good thing to clear.
I'm so rude, I keep interrupting the guest, but...
No, this is good. I like the interactive chat here. Yeah. But there's two separate things. A
poltergeist.
A paranormal activity poltergeist I would classify as an intelligent haunting. But then you have the ones where it's a teenager where they are unknowingly making objects move with their mind.
Yep.
But then you have to question, because this is where my logical brain goes, because I think that happens a lot. I think it's a lot that it's people's energy that's making something happen.
Yeah.
But is that then a poltergeist, or is that telekinesis?
Right, exactly.
Telekinesis. No, it's telekinesis.
Right, but people call that poltergeist.
It's two different things.
So
I agree.
I don't classify, if a spirit opens a door, I don't classify that as a poltergeist, though. And I know other people are like, well, anytime something moves, it's a poltergeist.
No, poltergeist All a poltergeist is, guys, is a German word for a loud spirit. That's it. It's a
well, I know some
ghost.
pretty damn loud spirits.
Poltergeist
activity
is
an intelligent haunting.
Yes,
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But it's just it's the same thing. It's just another word.
Exactly.
Yep. Don't get me going on sleep paralysis. Oh my God. Don't even.
Hey Shay, what's your views on sleep paralysis?
Oh, fucking sleep paralysis is a fucking medical term, guys.
That's not paranormal.
No.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
you can. If a spirit is sitting on your chest while you're sleeping, you're gonna freeze and you're gonna be scared. But sleep paralysis is a medical term. They're two separate things. We just need to come up with a better term for the actual non-medical part of it. Oh, God. Can you imagine the hate mail I'm going to get after this? We need to do this like every couple months. I haven't been trained to be blown up in a long time. We got to do this more often.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm me. You either love me or you don't.
Oh, well. You know, and that's just...
Kim says, somebody's not an ass. That's her. Yeah, I announced that last week, Kim. On accident. Well, kind of. It came out of my mouth, so. Anyway, sorry.
Oh. I got what he's asking.
All right.
So
I see shine, and I thought of like Twilight, like sparkly, like shine, like.
And I forget that they call that shining. If people can talk, so basically, some people will say anybody who has an ability, they shine. That they have the ability to shine. You know, which interestingly enough, then where did that term come from? Is it because somewhere down in history we were told that we shine? I don't know. But that ability to communicate with each other without saying words, I mean, I think it's absolutely a possibility, but then the logical side of me comes in and says, okay, well, how much of it is just because we know that person so well, you know? Because most of the time for me, when it's happening, it's somebody that I'm connected to really, really close, and that I know their energy. I know but if I know their energy, I also know the way they think, and I know the thoughts they might have come to their head. I don't know if that was clear as mud, wasn't it?
Kind of.
Dead
I was
silence.
thinking of Ghost Whisperer the whole time you were talking. The shinies, so. I'm just being honest.
Ooh, Mama Pat has a question.
I know. And I'm not saying that. Go ahead, ask her question before I answer it.
So she's saying, what about if it feels like something is holding onto your leg, and when you try to move it, it feels like hands are preventing it? Is that sleep paralysis or a spirit?
I think they're two different things. Like, here we go. All right, asthma. You have breathing issues, right? It's like saying a spirit's choking me, so I have asthma. I experienced asthma because I couldn't breathe. When a spirit, they're two different things. It just irritates me.
So I don't think that, to clarify what I think you're saying, you're not saying that a spirit doesn't have the capability of making you not be able to move.
No.
You're just saying if it truly is a spirit that's making you not move, that's not sleep paralysis.
No, because sleep paralysis is an actual medical thing.
I gotcha.
Rebecca's rolling her eyes at me. Or with me, I'm not sure which, but I'm just saying it's going to be a combo.
Because I mean, what Mama Pat is describing with, somebody actually physically holding your leg. I mean, I would think that could be paranormal, but Shay is correct. Sleep paralysis is a medical condition.
But I don't think Shay is saying that it's not possible that a spirit can hold you down.
I'm not. No, I agree. It can. It can.
A spirit absolutely can hold you down. That doesn't. But if a spirit is holding you down, that's not sleep paralysis. That's a spirit holding you down.
Thank you. See, this is why This is why we host the show together because I can't.
I speak Shay.
She does. It's a medical thing, sleep paralysis. So it's like, I don't understand why we come up with.
If you have sleep paralysis, it's not a spirit holding you down. If you have a spirit holding you down, it's not sleep paralysis.
That's what I'm saying right there. It is possible, but they're two different things. That's all. Matt just keeps yelling demon in chat.
That's a troublemaker.
Don't mess with demons. Stay away from the demons.
Go into the light.
I bet Matt's sitting at home in his computer room, ripping off his shirt, yelling demon. I bet you.
Did he go spike his hair first? Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud? Shit, sorry.
No, I think spirits can hold you down. They can, not often. I don't think it happens often.
Yeah.
But it is possible.
But it does definitely happen.
But I just think using a medical term for something that's paranormal is confusing.
It's scary. Sleep paralysis is scary. And so they want to blame a ghost because ghosts are scary too. So let's just lump it all together in one thing.
Yep.
Makes perfect sense to me.
I'm glad we're entertaining Andrew tonight. And I want to thank you, Andrew. Thank you for coming in. But I think we're entertaining him tonight, so.
That's good.
Yes.
We do our best.
Mama Pat says Matt's hung around Roland too much. Well, he lived with me for 12 years, so he stepped up if he's hanging out with Roland. So.
Aww. You stop that.
What? That was, hey, God bless him. That's all I gotta say.
Such a troublemaker.
I am. We've been on for a while. I am serious. We gotta come back and do this again because we didn't even touch the surface. I'd be willing to make this a regular thing with three of us every couple months.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I love the intelligent debate with people who know what they're talking about.
And the three of us, we can debate, and we're not going to get fucking butthurt. Like,
I'm going to unfriend you guys as soon as we're done.
Yeah,
You are not. I'm not going to let you. But this is also kind of why I'm writing the book on this because it is such a deep subject, and it's Ghost Hunting 101, and then the side part is it's a practical manual for people who want to do a paranormal investigation. Something that they can refer to when they're trying to go out and do a paranormal investigation, and have the backup of a real book, a practical book.
When is the book gonna be? Have you finished writing the book?
I'm in the process of writing the book.
All right.
It's coming together. It's supposed to be finished in the end of February. So,
all right. So we're getting there.
I'm getting there. It's coming together, making real progress.
I would love to write a book, but I would have to pay somebody to edit the book, like an editor. Air quotes again, they can't see me. But anybody I would have to pay to edit my stuff, I'd like $1 million because has anybody seen my typos? So,
Well, and this is after 3 years of teaching the class,
Yeah.
3 years of doing the ghost tours and teaching the class over and over and over again.
I'm kidding. I don't want to write a book, by the way. No.
And not only 3 years of teaching the class, but 20 years of investigating. So, because I've been doing this for a while, not that I really talk about that part a whole lot, but, I've been doing investigations for a while and,
No, we really, wow. This is great. I love this. This is stuff I like doing. Andrew has demon gas. Well, I'm sorry for anybody that's around you. James.
Well, all right then.
James says, "Oh, I want to be in that book, Rebecca."
Okay.
Mama Pat says, "Rebecca, there are little gray cat hairs all over my computer screen. I blame you. LOL."
I'm glad to hear Cambry is doing well.
Is that what the name is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the name.
Yeah.
I saw the picture. I didn't read the text. I saw the picture, but
We got a barn cat for the Cambry house. We got a barn cat. It was a rescue, and naturally, she was pregnant when it.
Of course.
So anyway, she had a litter of kittens.
Jamie. Sorry.
Jamie. Oh, hey, Jamie.
I'm sorry. My bad.
So anyway, yeah. So we had a litter of kittens, and Mama Cat came out, and the kitten was just so cute. And somehow or another, Mama Cat took a kitten home and named it Cambry.
Because he's adorable.
Yeah.
I remember the picture. I think it was
adorable.
I see so many cat pictures, but I'm pretty sure I said, "Thank you. I went for something and I came home with this," or something. Is that the right
something like that?
Yeah.
Something like
coerced into taking home a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's adorable. She'll tell you he's a monster, but I think she kind of likes him.
After you, it should be a breeze.
Ouch. Ow. That's hurtful.
I know, I was bad, Shay. I'm sorry.
I'm going to cry now.
I've been suffering from a migraine for like 2 weeks. It's gone, but I still have the after effects for like the past week. I don't know if anybody has migraines, but the pain's the vision is still messed up and stuff, so
yeah. Sucks.
Rebecca, where can people find you if they want to look you up on social media?
I am Cambry House and Farm on Facebook. Look for, there's two, because the Facebook created a page off the wiki page for Cambry House and Farm. So look for the one with the pineapple top pillar instead of a rock in the picture. I don't know. I'm frustrated trying to get Facebook to fix that, but you know how that works. And then it
does the same thing. Yep.
Yeah, Cambry.house on Instagram. And of course, I'm Rebecca Williamson, and then email cambryhouseandfarm@gmail.com. Yeah, if you type in Cambry, usually you should come up with something for me.
See, there we go. Do you have any events or any place you're going to be other than the Cambry House? Or does Cambry House have any events coming up or anything?
We're gearing up for next year. May on Memorial Day, I do a craft show and open house. That is the one time of year that we have the whole grounds open up for free. Come and tour the house. I have craft vendors out in the yard. And that's the Monday of Memorial Day weekend. That is awesome, fun time. Have food vendor out there that day too, so it'll be awesome. So you're not doing anything on Monday, which most people, usually Memorial Day weekend is busy and Monday is kind of a nice quiet day. So that's what we do that. And then Paranormal Conference will be June 20th at the Cambry House. Working that one out. That one's coming together. It's going to be amazing. Raven Rose will be out there helping. We're doing tours that night, but it should be some kind of a paranormal conference, vendors, fun times. Put it on your calendar. And then we'll do ghost tours again in October. Yeah. Working on putting the schedule together for next year, but that's mainly...
Cambridge, see, Massachusetts, sorry. Does Cambry House have a website?
Yes, cambryhouse.com.
All right. I'm writing it down. I will share it.
Awesome. I need to get events put up there for next year. That's my plan for next week.
Yep. Okay. Matt and I are working on the website, updating ours, so I'm doing the easy stuff. He's doing the hard stuff, so God bless you.
Yeah, my cousin does web design, and so anyway, she designed my website, and it's amazing, and I love her because I would not have any hair left if I was doing web design on my own.
It's the worst thing ever.
I just send him all the information, piece by piece, person by person, category by category, and he does the web stuff.
Some sort of magic stuff in the background.
Yeah.
I call my cousin and I say, okay, I want it to kind of look like this, and I want it to have this on there. And then she emails me back this thing, and she's like, how does this look? I'm like, oh, that looks amazing.
Yeah, see, I take a picture of the screen and say, I hate this. Change this. Update this. We have so many more shows now, though, that we have, like, I don't know where, at least 6 more shows, 6 more hosts, 6 more everything.
Awesome.
To add to it. That's how, I think we're up to 11 or 12 shows now, so it's
awesome. Well, anytime you want to do this again, Shay, I am more than willing.
No, I'm serious. We got to do this like every other month or something, because this was, this is the stuff I like right here.
Yeah.
You know, I can state my opinion. You're not going to get butthurt. You'll tongue battle with me, but you're not going to get butthurt. And that's what I like.
No, and I think this, like I said, I really think this type of conversation is important in the field because, like I said, running across that couple that did not know their K2 set off the cell phone set off the K2 was just like, how many investigations have you gone on? Seriously? You've paid for, I mean, they were talking about all these big name places that they'd been to and had no clue. And I'm just like, really?
Yeah, it's you know, and do we really blame them, or do we blame ourselves? Do we blame the field, the Facebook? Like, it's a sad.
I give it a tour. That's the way I explained it. It was, I give a good tour.
Yeah.
It's a, like I said, I give a thorough tour of Ghost Hunting 101, you know. But they get opportunity. It's not just I do the Ghost Hunting 101. They do get an opportunity to investigate the house, but they know what they're doing when they get them there. And yeah, it just, I want them to know when they have an experience at the Cambry house that they are having an actual paranormal experience, and they're not going home later and wondering, was it really paranormal or not?
Or thinking it was automatically paranormal.
Yes.
Yeah. Kelly, where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? You gotta wait. We gotta put a limit. Next couple weeks. That's it. Because we'll be here another 3 hours if we're gonna put out all your venues.
Actually, it's still a little slower right now. So I will.
More Kelly time. Yay!
I will be at a location tomorrow night that I will let people know where I'm at tomorrow night. It's all like secretive and stuff. And then next weekend, I am at Edinburgh.
Nice.
And then January, sometime, I can't remember what date we picked, we'll be investigating the Granger house. And then I have an intuitive retreat scheduled for February 1st that I haven't officially started announcing yet, but hey, if you're interested, it is on my website. I just haven't announced it yet. So, but that will be at the Mason house because I haven't been down there forever. Nice. So yeah, that's me.
And I'm moving my stuff because Kelly's not going to know the answer to the next question. When's the Realm Walker back?
I will be in January sometime, probably not the first week, obviously, because that's January 1st.
So January 8th?
I'm thinking I'll probably come back on the 8th and start out with just doing some readings so people can know what to look forward to going into 2020. And then I've got some guests potentially lined up for after that. I just got to get it all date-wise figured out.
Nice. Before I forget, I will be nowhere but my living room for the next week or so. A couple weeks, my daughter's home from college, so I'm not doing anything. That's my big event. But I was not allowed to mention Christmas until the end of the show. So, I want to just, I have 2 different calendars in front of me. It's a personal joke, guys. Sorry. Listeners are not going to get that, but that's okay. So, tonight
Miss Beckett does not like Christmas at all.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to this Christmas either. That's why, honestly, I didn't bring it up. But
it's a nasty holiday. It just is. Anyway.
It is. This is the last show on the network until, believe it or not, we have a Christmas Day, Wednesday, I forgot, December 25th, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central, episode 2 of the Cauldron Talk with Casey. I always forget because I call her Kay. Will be airing that night. So, and then we have a show. So, the 25th, Wednesday, then I'll be live with Kelly, the 27th with Heather Larson, which is a Friday, of course. And next calendar, it's a new year, so new calendar. I got to move to the next one.
Yeah, flip the page. Flip the page.
I can't. I got to go to a whole new book.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like, I have a schedule made out, and I'm going to share it tomorrow. And then January 2020, everybody's going to start coming back. So, the next week and a half or so, it's going to be very, very few and far in between, but that's good. I want everybody to enjoy their family. Everybody picks their own schedule. I just have nothing going on, and the 27th sounds like a good day for me. So, it's not Christmas, it's not your New Year's Eve, so I can do it. I know I'm rambling because I got nervous because I can't find. I have a list somewhere here of which days, and I can't find it. Seeking the Paranormal on Thursday the 26th. They also have one. Kelly, will you do me a favor? Do some shout-outs for me?
Sure.
Chat. See, I love her. She's so good.
All right, so in chat tonight we have Kim, Darren, Mama Pat, Miss Shay, Matt, scrolling fast, Mama Deb.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mama. Hi, both
Hi,
moms.
Mamas.
Yeah, hi, Mamas.
Mamas. Eric popped in for a minute. Josh Smith. I didn't even see Josh jump in there. He was so well behaved.
He was. You never noticed him when he was well behaved.
I know. There were words I wouldn't expect to say.
Right?
Angie Johnson, Jamie, Stephanie was in there for just a little bit, it looks like. Drew, of course, Andrew. I'm scrolling. Every time I do this, all that goes through my head is that song, You See Me Scrolling. Okay, sorry. I think I've got pretty much everybody, but if I missed you guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
got the rest of the beginning, I believe. Jamie?
I got Jamie, yeah.
All right. Yeah, then I think we got the rest of the beginning. If we missed you, sorry. We got to get a better system here.
I know, right?
You know. We're getting there.
There was a whole lot of chat tonight. Good Lord.
I know.
Good job, guys.
Only 300 comments, so.
Yeah, it's all good.
You know,
it's all good.
I've only been podcasting for 4 years. What do you mean I have to figure out chat? Come on. You know? Alright, guys. So, yeah, I'm serious. We can make this a regular thing.
I'm up for it.
Yep.
It was awesome.
It would be good. I think it would be good. We'll take notes on what we talked about and move on to the next one later. So, everybody, I should mute Rebecca now. I'm just kidding. You should see the look on her face. I will not be on till the 27th, so I do want to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever the fuck the political term is, but I celebrate Christmas, so I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and we will see you next Friday, right here.
Yep.
What's that? Same bat time, same bat channel?
Something along those lines.
Something. And you'll be joining us, right, Kel?
Yeah, as far as I know.
As far as we know, Kelly will be here,
That's the plan.
So.
I think you're stuck with me until, like, January 24th or something like that.
Oh, nice.
I know.
Stuck with you. Oh,
you're getting spoiled.
I am. Oh, hoo-hoo. All right, guys. Good night. Merry Christmas. We will see you next week.
Love you guys. Merry Christmas. Thank you, everybody.
Home. They say it's where the heart is. They also say it's wherever you make it. They don't say it's where you unload your stuff, get tired halfway through unpacking, use some boxes as furniture, realize your oven mitt's in a box that doubles as a nightstand, don't want to buy a new nightstand, and use a towel as an oven mitt instead. But no matter where you call home, Geico makes it easy to bundle and save on renters and car insurance. Easier than grabbing a piping hot pan with a towel that's a bit too thin and trying to quickly get it to the counter. Ooh, hot, 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 hot.
Finding the right person for the job isn't easy. Just ask someone who hired a monster truck driver to deliver pizza.
And the neighbors are going wild. You can hear that engine from a mile away, Fran.
And he's foregoing the driveway and heading right up the lawn and over the azaleas. What a power move.
But if you've got an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can bundle your policies, which could save you hundreds.
With 6-foot tires and a roll cage, this pizza guy could quite literally crush the competition.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, visit geico.com/local today.